And this is the finals of the 2025 Tournament of Glory freaking tournament. You know what I mean. Making words. English is hard. Especially considering I almost call this thing the King of the Ring. Alright, first one to come out, as you can see, is this freaking douchebag Loki. Who's literally somehow managed to work his way through the tournament. And only had help from his freaking jack-off buddies from the freaking Unwatched. I think like once, surprisingly. The fact that Loki's made it to this match amazes me. I never thought, considering the fact his track record as a singles wrestler isn't exactly the greatest, I never thought I'd see Loki in the Tournament of Glory finals. Let alone taking on Jesus. The shit that these two had to go through to get to this point is just insane when you think about it. And it all comes to a head to see which one of these two will be the Tournament of Glory winner, and freaking will be the new King of Worlds champion and will challenge either Jack 6 or Marcus Creed for the world title at Hunting Grounds. And here comes freaking Jesus making his way out to the ring. He was clearly, by the sound of the crowd favorite. And personally, he's my favorite pick to win this thing, hopefully. Alright, because I do not need the freaking Unwashed having somebody with a King Wolf title and a world title opportunity. That's the last thing we fucking need right now. And this is Jesus' biggest match in his career since the internet title match he had with AJ Styles forever ago. Jesus, if there was any time for you to step the fuck up and remind everybody why you are one of the best hardcore atomweight champions back in the Mag Nation back in the day, now would be the time, buddy. Because I really need you to step the fuck up. That would be nice. A lot on the line here, Jesus. Just saying, bro. And for the first time in forever since Jack 6 vacated the title, there's the King of Worlds title. And that's the belt that these two are fighting over. Along with the world title opportunity that one of these two is getting for winning this tournament. And let's get this tournament finals match underway. And Loki immediately on the offensive with a pair of punches. And Jesus with an armbar on Loki. And Loki reverses it into a shoulder tackle. A collar and elbow tie up between the two. Sean's gonna be loving this. Loki with a good behind on Jesus. Electric chair into an electric chair drop by Loki to Jesus. Now Loki whipping Jesus in the corner. Watch out, ref. German suplex by Loki to Jesus. And Jesus blocking the punch from Loki there into a headlock. And Jesus whipping Loki into a headbutt. An elbow drop by Jesus to Loki's chest. And then Loki just flew a pair of punches and he whiffed the third one. And Jesus with an armbar into a dragon screw. Now Jesus back on the offensive on Loki, whoops him in the corner. Now Jesus whipping Loki in the opposite side of the ring for reasons. Misses the clothesline because Loki dodged him and kicked in the midsection of Jesus by Loki. And just whipping Jesus. And nope, Jesus reversed into a belly-to-belly suplex. Whenever Loki tried to go for there, it got reversed. Now Jesus with a headlock on Loki. Into a body slam there. Or power slam, one of the two. And Jesus with another elbow drop to the chest of Loki. And now Jesus just punches to Loki and he blocks the third one and a headlock by Loki. Well, that's one way to do an arm drag. Now Loki with an armbar on Jesus. Whoops him in the corner. Running splash in the corner to Jesus by Loki. And they just ran right into each other there. Another collar elbow tie up between the two. Sean's gonna be loving this. Go behind by Jesus on Loki. Chop block by Jesus to Loki. Kick midsection to Loki by Jesus. And now Jesus with an armbar on Loki. Into an arm breaker attempt. And now Jesus with more punches to Loki and a headlock again. And a backbreaker by Loki to Jesus. Jesus to Loki. And now Jesus with a go behind on Loki, turns him around, and whoops him into a Samoan drop. And Jesus, what in the world? Freaking just hot shot freaking, or whatever the hell that's called, Loki on the bottom rope of the ring. And shot the lower back of Loki by Jesus there. And Jesus with a suplex to Loki. And Loki reversing whatever Jesus tried to go for there, whooping in the corner, just woofing that punch there. And another running splash in the corner to Jesus. And Jesus reversed whatever Loki tried to go for there into a belly-to-belly suplex, or belly-to-back suplex, one of the two. STO by Loki to Jesus. And Jesus just shoving Loki off, clothesline knocking him down. Just a straight punch straight from the heavens to Loki, knocking him down there by Jesus. And Loki just poking Jesus in the eyes there. What a freaking asshole. A shot to the back of Jesus by Loki there. And Jesus reversing it into a headlock on Loki. Elbow to the face of Loki, and a Russian leg sweep by Jesus there. Another elbow drop to the chest of Loki by Jesus. And Loki blocking the punch there into a headlock on Jesus. And just a pair of knees to the midsection of Jesus there by Loki. Another STO by freaking Loki there. Oh, Jesus Christ, literally freaking. And Loki with the running splash there on Jesus. And now freaking Loki dragging Jesus away from the ropes. Going for a cover. Not even a 1 count. Considering some of the crap Jesus has had to deal with throughout this entire tournament, Loki, it's going to take a lot more than that. Another arm breaker by Jesus on Loki there. And Jesus just putting the sandals to Loki. Just runs right into each other again. And again. And Jesus with a getting hit with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Loki. And Jesus with a DDT to Loki there. Now Jesus with a go behind on Loki. And Loki reverses it into a belly-to-belly suplex. Or whatever the hell that's called. Belly-to-back suplex, one or two. And now Loki just sitting on Jesus' leg. Now Loki with a suplex to Jesus, just dumping him on his head. Elbow to the back of the head of Jesus by Loki. And a gut-wrench suplex slam by Loki there to Jesus. And Loki just putting the boots to Jesus, and they just ran right into each other again. And Jesus just a straight punch to the face of Loki, and he just responds with one of his own. And Jesus just kicks him off with his sandal to the face. And Loki just tripping up Jesus there, freaking Mortal Kombat move much there. And Loki just punches Jesus, and he just shoves him off there. And a clothesline by Jesus to Loki. And Loki just raking the eyes of Jesus again. And another clothesline by Loki to Jesus. Loki, you are a freaking piece of shit and a bastard, you know that? And Jesus blocking that punch from Loki into an armbar. Oh god. Jesus is hulking up! He's hulking up! Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, by the way. He's risen! You! Loki, you about to get your ass kicked. Ho! Ho! Off the ropes. Ho! Big boot! And Jesus with the leg drop straight from the heavens to Loki. And now Jesus just putting the freaking holy freaking stomping to freaking Loki, just stomping a mud hole to him there. Kicked him in section of Loki by Jesus. And Jesus just with more punches right to Loki, and he missed with that one. And Loki missing the clothesline. And now Loki just punches him down. And Loki just sitting on Jesus' chest. And just slammed his arm against the ring. It's useless move in wrestling. And Jesus reverses whatever Loki tried to go for there into another Russian leg sweep. Go behind by Jesus on Loki, who just flips him over. Elbow drop to Jesus there by Loki. And Jesus with that punch is dazing and knocking down Loki there. And Jesus with a neck breaker to Loki. And now just putting the more sandal stomps to the chest of Loki there. Which he deserves because he's a dick. And Jesus with a suplex to Loki. And Loki just punches them off. Float over DDT by Jesus to Loki again. Jesus is just trying to cave in Loki's chest with these stomps. And he's trying to teach him a lesson straight from the Lord himself. Go behind by Jesus. And Loki an elbow to the face of Jesus, and STO taking him down again. And Loki just slamming Jesus' arm against the ring. What's Jesus moving wrestling? Oh God, what is Jesus setting up? I mean Loki setting up here. Oh God. And Loki, with his version of a Death Valley driver, or as he calls it, Fenrir, going for a cover. 1, 2, and Jesus kicks out. Thank Christ. And another DDT by Jesus to Loki. And now just stomping away at him again. And a knee to the face of Loki by Jesus. Samoan drop by Jesus to Loki there. Another rig to the eyes of Jesus by Loki. Another armbar by Loki. Knee to the midsection of Loki by Jesus. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Loki to Jesus as well. And they just ran into each other again. Another DDT by Jesus to Loki. And Jesus with just repeated punches knocking Loki in the corner. And now sets him in the trio roll. And now Jesus just grinding his sandal against Loki's throat, which he deserves. And now Jesus setting up for the heavens bottom. If he nails this, he's gonna win. And he nails it. Go for the covers, Jesus. 1, 2, and Jesus wins. Jesus wins the Tournament of Glory. And he's the new King of Wolves champion. Freaking holy Christ almighty. Thank the Lord. And Josh, if you see this, is probably going to be losing his shit. But Jesus wins the Tournament of Glory for 2025. And he's the King of Wolves champion. Thank Christ. And I don't have to worry about the unwashed freaking having this title and having a shot at the world title. Thank God. And Darkseid's probably going to be livid about this. I know that for a fact. The biggest win in his career. And Jesus is holding a championship again. So not only does he have a world title opportunity in the future against either Marcus Creed or Jack 6, but he has another world title opportunity in the bank just in case. If he can retain that title 3 times at least. If you just like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow for the freaking women's finals. Peace! And fuck you, Loki.